Efforts are in motion to remove the causeway that leads to a popular fishing and birding spot in Richland. Tonight, the reasoning behind the change and who's leading the effort.
It was just, I want to get out there, and here it is. So.
Somehow and by somebody, this 500-foot causeway was built onto Bateman Island between 1939 and 1940. Historical records suggest a local pioneer family used the land for farming.
It was an important area because the salmon returning to the Yakima would all have to come through here. So there would be celebrations of the first returning fish and the first foods to our nation, and that's important to us. So
Joe Blodgett, who's with the Yakima Nation Fisheries, says this area is rich with tribal history, and their mission is to restore the salmon populations.
It's a lofty goal, but it's something that we're excited to take on.
Bateman Island is owned by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and is on a 50-year lease to the city of Richland. Blodgett says it's been hard to track down who built the causeway, but there likely wasn't a lot of forethought because recent studies have found this stagnant water is harming the salmon.
When you put the road out there with no fish passage, obviously that creates some barriers to our salmon populations. It not only creates barriers for them to swim up and down the Yakima, but it also is excellent habitat for predation. It also increases the temperature of the river water as it sits in the stagnant pool.
Blodgett says adult salmon have to wait in the warm water around Bateman Island to cool down before they can advance into the Yakima River. This puts them at risk of falling prey to hungry fish who love that warm water. But rather than point fingers at whoever built the causeway, Blodgett says they want to work together to solve this problem.
We're trying to find solutions, and we're trying to work collaboratively with all of the agencies involved to come up with a solution on quit having the salmon ride the burden of all of these what we call progress and obstacles that we put in their way.
They also understand how important Bateman Island is for anglers, bird watchers, and foot traffic. Dana Ward with the Audubon Society says he'd like to see a bridge take the causeway's place.
It would be wonderful to keep the salmon flourishing and going up.
Blodgett says so far they've gotten a lot of support, but they want to ensure the community has input before any action is taken.
A study that modeled what would happen if the causeway was breached did look at the river flow and the nearby marina. Blodgett says the study showed the flow would not increase enough to put boats at risk.